Hello, Level 4. It's Miss Kate again. This is page 51 in your new Interchange student book, Exercise 4. So I just want to go over this briefly. So we're using two phrases, would rather, would prefer, to talk about preferences. Now you can use either one of these phrases to talk about things that you would like, but they have a little bit of a different grammar form, so you just pay careful attention to that. So if you want to use would rather when you're talking about choices, you're going to make sure you use a base form of a verb. So for example, here's a question. Would you rather take a business or communications class? So we have a base verb here. Take. So that's a base verb is a verb with no changes. Okay, so the contraction of would is right here, I'd, so that's I would, I'd rather, base verb take, a communications class. That's your answer. Or if you want to say the negative, like if you don't want to do either, you could say this, I'd rather not take either. So use the word not between rather and the base verb. Or you could make a longer sentence by saying, I'd rather, plus the base verb, I'd rather take another course. Now, since we're kind of comparing, we have to use the comparative then with a THAN. And then we're going to use another base verb. Okay, I'd rather take another course than study business or communications. Okay, so when you use would rather, just make sure you're using a base verb. If you want to use the expression would prefer, which has the same meaning, you have to use an infinitive. Okay, so here's a question. Would you prefer infinitive to study business or communications? A contraction again, I'd prefer infinitive to study business, or I'd prefer. Now here, if you want to use the negative, it goes before the infinitive and after the word prefer. I'd prefer not to study either. Okay? So again, the meaning is the same. It doesn't matter which expression you use, but just make sure you're using a base verb with I'd rather or an infinitive with I'd prefer. Now, here's an example of how to politely decline something using rather or prefer. So for example, it says, let's join a club. So you're not making a choice here. You're just politely declining. So again, you could use would rather. I'd rather not, base verb join. I'd rather not join a club. So this is a way to say no. Or you could just say, I'd rather not, period. Okay, or if you want to use would prefer, I'd prefer not to join a club, or just I'd prefer not to. Okay, so again, this over here on the right is just showing you another way to say no in a polite way. All right, I hope that helps you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.